Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my gosh. We okay? There we go. All right. It is the 19th Monday, and we got some stuff going on. Let's check the charts first. Volume profile. So, on Friday, they were doing okay until the last little bit, and then they just, oh my gosh. Yeah, now, overnight and Sunday, they did spike up just a little bit and recover that. The main driver that we got going on right now is that Nancy Pelosi has set a deadline for the coronavirus stimulus bill to be finished. And she is talking hopeful, but I don't know. I don't know if they can meet that deadline. Here's the treasuries. The treasuries coming back down again, back to where they were. Because I guess the market thinks the stimulus is going to happen, I assume. And here's gold moving up. Above 1900 again. Copper is doing well. Copper is doing quite well. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the strikes down there in my news squawks. But then the big driver here, though, dollar coming down. So dollar coming down, euro looking good. Sounds also like the whole Brexit thing is kind of getting a little bit that maybe they were just talking tough. So maybe we'll get some stuff. In the political arena, it's the drops from Joe Biden tapes just keep coming. Apparently, a number of outlets have been given the information now, and Bannon has confirmed that he is kind of behind the rollout and has been strategizing everything, and that there's a lot more to come, and he's confirmed a lot of other information about it. I've seen some... what do you say? Where they've there's another account that they've gotten access to, and they've been able to confirm like emails sent from different places. I haven't seen like a asymmetric key verification of the emails yet. I really think that somebody should get on that. Maybe I'll look up how they do that today. But It looks highly likely at this point that the emails are genuine. So now the question is, how damaging is the information in them? So, and this is kind of becoming a problem and a slow drip. Joe Biden has put a lid on his campaign until Thursday. I don't know if that means that he is preparing for the debate or what, but yeah, Donald Trump is going to have to redeem himself in this next debate. All Russian bots, Russian hackers, Russian misinformation, all fake that man is less corrupt, and the only man less corruptible than Joe Biden is Jesus Christ. Good grief, dude. That's what they're playing. I mean, the thing that I find so interesting is that I'm just hearing that it's Russian disinformation without any kind of evidence that is the case. I don't like saying that the emails are true without like a positive verification. At this point, though, I think that it is extremely likely. The biggest pieces of evidence being that they now have emails from other individuals, and that Joe Biden hasn't explicitly said that they're false. So, and if it was that simple, that's all you would have to say, right? Well, let's see here. At the Chairman Powell is speaking right now, I guess. Let's check Twitter. White House Chief of Staff Meadow, Twitter, and Facebook may be interfering with elections. Okay. It's Powell, the Fed has not made a decision to issue a digital currency.
Uzi Knesset says by definition, it can't be disinformation if the contents are real. This whole, where it came from means it's fake, thing is bullshit.
Well, there was some people trying to discredit it based off of it being posted by the New York Post, and there was also people that were saying that they didn't want their names attached to it at the New York Post. I thought that one was kind of funny because they were all saying, "Oh, they don't want their names attached to it because it's false." But I think the reason that they didn't want their names attached to it is because they knew that even if it was true that their careers would basically be over at any other newspaper because of the media's liberal bias, right? You don't want to be the journalist that took down Biden, right? Anyways, um, but and there's the whole thing about the chain of custody, right? Um, Questioning the shop owner itself is kind of silly, and a bunch of media outlets have now spoken to him, and I think the chain of custody is pretty well established. So to claim that it's Russian information, you would have to claim that the shop owner was given the laptop by Russians and he didn't know. But at this point, I just think that's so silly because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. So you are seeing like excuses get. And the thing is that like Bannon is behind this. I mean, these people do their homework. So if it is a Russian disinformation campaign, they have successfully fooled a lot of people. I'm getting some gas and stuff, man.
Uzi Knesset says you'd also have to claim that Hunter's homie in prison turning over account logins and passwords is also a Russian agent.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's why I say, I mean, there are some people on the YouTube video that we had about this. That YouTube video really blew up for some reason, but I think it was because of the person that tried to downvote Obama. But there's a couple of people talking about that, and I'm just saying, like, the thing that frustrates me though is that they haven't put out like the actual, uh, how do you say, the actual files themselves, because there's like usually stuff in the headers that we can use to verify that it's genuine, things that you can't fake.
Uzi Knesset says communist Twitter begged the question of Hunter, living in LA, dropping a laptop off in Delaware for repairs. It's a fair enough question, but
Wait, he lives in LA?
Uzi Knesset says I kind of feel Hunter felt neglected and possibly wanted to tank his own father's campaign.
Well, but why would you go to Delaware? That is kind of weird. But it might not have. I think the thing here is that I'm not entirely sure that it was. Like, the thing is that when they delivered the stuff to the store, it was like more than one device, right? So like, now did Hunter want to tank his the father's campaign? Then why hasn't he come out and said anything?
Uzi Knesset says plausible deniability.
Maybe. Well, the thing that I get out of it though is that there's more coming. So I'm sure that any kind of questions or concerns that we have will be answered in time. I want to be careful. I don't want to put the final lid on it's confirmed because I haven't seen something that I think rises
Uzi
to the level
Knesset
of
says some of the
confirmed.
text
But
messages on the laptop kinda paint the resentful son picture.
yeah, that's true. The whole thing about pops and asking for 50% and all that sort of stuff. I'm just reading through Twitter here. Yeah, I thought that the jigsaw footprint charts would be out today, but apparently what starts today is just a class that they're doing on footprints and then
Uzi Knesset says yeah, I mean, it's a possible angle. The left's angle is Russian spies dropping off laptops filled with hacked data to a blind shopkeep thousands of miles away from where Hunter lives.
I had not heard that it was away from where Hunter Biden lives. He lives in California? I would think that he would have multiple residences, but mm, CNN hasn't been able to authenticate the emails. Da, 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 da.
Uzi Knesset says that's what commie Twitter is saying, so take it with a grain of salt.
Well, here's the thing. You can verify it. Let's see here. Email asymmetric key verification. That's what it's called. DKIM verification. DKIM was developed and is widely deployed as an email server anti-spam mechanism, including on gmail.com and hillaryclinton.com. DKIM enabled mail servers cryptographically sign the emails they relay so that recipients' mail servers can authenticate them. DKIM has a beneficial side effect of causing messages to become cryptographically non-repeatable.
Ask Our
That
Money
is,
Machine
after the
says hi
email is
Seth,
sent,
what is
sender
your
cannot
view for the
read the
MKTS up or
message.
down for the next 2 weeks on S?
I have no clue, dude. I can't read it that far ahead. Anything could happen between now and then. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I have to say that the backdrop for today looks tepidly bullish. It's actually quite bullish, but from the overnight session. Beyond that, I can't really say.
Ask Our Money Machine says okay thanks.
Let's see here. How to verify email with a DKIM. There's got to be a website where you can just like put it in. Let's see here. I bet you I can do this. Gmail. Need to find a good email that I can do it with first, though.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says morning.
Morning, buddy. How are you? Okay, so here's one.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says good thanks.
So how on
Mahdi El
Gmail do you
Mesaudi
look at
says could you tell me
headers?
why the S and NQ charts looks the same?
Well, they're usually going to be pretty close to each other. To say the spread between them hasn't moved all that much. I bet you that the NQ, if we're going to move up, the NQ probably will move more, though. We'll probably get that same sort of pump action that we've been getting. View headers in Gmail. Oh, okay. Show original. Da, 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 da. Cool. Let's try that. We will try it now. There's a domain. I think it's this.
Sa
Part,
Sa
I'm not
says set the
sure.
defibrillator. Tat Terra Tra Terra. Pam Padoom Padoom Padoom.
I think I know who that is. Uh, uh, uh. There's a BH part and there's a B, and I'm not sure which part is that you want. try the BH part.
Rob Farley says morning traders. Got my new Traders Gonna Trade mouse pad. Hoppin' it, bring luck.
You did, really? That's awesome, dude. Are the pads lucky? If they are lucky, man, we have to make like a testimonial and everything. I have the mug. I don't drink out of the mug, so I guess I can't say if it's lucky or not. Mm-hmm.
Rob Farley says, has anybody done any backtesting using the Hama?
Valid. Oh, there it's the P part. That's what they're saying. P equals. P equals. This one doesn't have that bit.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says nothing is moving till now. The market has already opened, right?
Yep, the market's already opened. It's kind of slow. What is these different parts? BH. Apparently, the baby is awake and he sounds happy. Oh, okay. So, selector is in S. S equals. Okay, let's write a thing. I think I understand how to do this. I'm gonna write over here. You don't need to see it. I mean, we did open up a little bit, and there has been some spikes up, but right now we're mildly bullish. Oh, it's right there. There we go.
Rob Farley says light Newsweek according to Forex Factory.
Well, in terms of economic news, yeah. Sorry, I was like, I'm writing something. Let's just post that. Forex Factory. Show this week. So it is extremely light. Wait, do I have everything selected? Yeah, I do. Man, even with everything selected. So we do have housing starts and building permits and beige book. Overall, though, it's really, really light. And that's what you tend to get towards the end of the month. That can be good for our strategy. However, we got the stimulus thing going on. So I'm doubting that we'll have a quiet week.
Vlad Stolyarov says San Francisco rent prices down 31% as residents leave for more space, cheaper housing amid pandemic.
Yeah, well, that's happening everywhere. California and New York got hosed in particular.
Uzi Knesset says the last place I'd wanna live during the coming Great Reset is a blue city. Vlad Stolyarov says work from home basically kicked in.
Yeah, well, that's that. It's kind of interesting. I didn't think that New York would be as vulnerable to that as it has been. Because one of the problems that I remember from when I worked at Goldman Sachs was that we had, like, in Salt Lake, they started out with a whole QA
Uzi
section.
Knesset says at least small red counties in red states will be last on the list lol.
Started with a whole QA section in Salt Lake, and they eventually phased that out. And then they had a lot of development over here where we were developing a lot of the soft exchange connectivity software. And eventually they phased all that out and moved it all to New York as well, because they found that they needed everybody over in New York. That's just like one example, but I kind of thought that the businesses in New York were there because they really needed to be. Because otherwise, really, why would you be in New York? It's so expensive, right? Um, Silicon Valley is a different thing. I mean, most of those guys, it's so tech. They probably don't actually talk to each other in person, anyways. We're all messaging each other on the instant messaging program in their company more than anything. So it doesn't surprise me that you're seeing a lot of that in California. But whatever. I kind of wonder about, like, how much has that new Apple's headquarters been used? I mean, they built a gigantic building out there. Scott Adams says, I'm starting to wonder how many laptops I've lost in my lifetime without being aware of it. I hope it is less than 3. Okay, so I think I got all of this stuff out. I think I figured that all out. Was figuring out how to verify an email with a DKIM signature. I was able to do it with an email that was sent to me. So hopefully, I put a little message out there on the Donald. So hopefully, the right people see that and decide to post the information that we would need to be able to verify the emails, and then that will be that. That will be that. I don't know. When it's really slow like this, you can get really diced up, and I don't really see a real reason to do anything. But I am kind of wondering if SoftBank shenanigans will kick in again today.
Vlad Stolyarov says party maybe for rally if we don't take out high of day Friday. Vlad Stolyarov says ending.
Yeah.
Mahdi El Mesaudi says yeah no volume, it's just dead.
Williams R. Somebody was asking me about Williams indicator. They said they couldn't find the code. Williams are. Nah, I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. And okay. Brexit negotiator Frost and EU Brexit negotiator Barnier's call is underway now, says sources. Boom.
Uzi Knesset says it's kinda crazy sitting here with the window open, ready to trade some treasuries, dogs sleeping on the floor behind me, quiet, and knowing the whole world is descending into chaos.
I don't know if the whole world is descending into chaos, but. Well, I tell you what. I'm willing to take it there. 27.
Uzi Knesset says friggin' riots all over the world, lockdowns, authoritarianism rising in Western liberal democracies. Kinda nutty.
Authoritarianism? I tell you, so this is the thing that I've been seeing lately that I just find so bizarre, like really bizarre. So there was one state, I think it was Michigan. The governor has been like incredibly draconian with their lockdown measures, and they never really opened back up. And she's been saying, well, if you hate lockdowns and having to wear masks, then you better vote for Joe Biden. What? Like Joe Biden wants to increase
Uzi
those
Knesset says
things.
bro, the UK banned indoor sex for, tier 2, couples lol.
Oh yeah.
Like, how deep they gotta go before people say, holy shit, this is too much, lol.
Well, but they loosened the measures. Now you can. Oh no, wait, that was Australia. Oh, I ain't gonna play this game on me. They're like, okay, we got sense attention. Let's see, are you trying to hold the RTH open? You mean the opening range? Well, it was looking weak there at 27.5, and then a few orders went through. I didn't get filled, and it flipped. So that's got to be a lure. 50 Ghosts Trading. Here with the question. I've been studying the No BS course, and I'm wondering if there are additional strats backtestable that I should bet for futures. I'm from a stock and options background. Thank you, and I love your stream. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, so here's the thing that gets interesting about the No BS day trading course is that the kinds of setups that they're talking about there are incredibly difficult to backtest, right? You can forward test it. You can go in and you can say, okay, here's the signal that I'm looking for, and I'll do it. When I see it, I do this thing. But he's talking about a pattern that you're going to see in the level two. So you're not going to have historical level two data. It's just too much data unless you're recording it all yourself. And even then, kind of pointing out the what is the word, like programming out a pattern like that is not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing at all. So kind of verifying those kind of level two strategies is hard. But that's also why I find, or at least I believe, that level two can be more fertile ground. You can combine a couple of things like your traditional technical analysis with some level two signals. You might be able to get a better signal. So that's where I would go into NinjaTrader 8 and program up something that shows you what you're looking for and see how it does. And that should trade it consistently, and then you can be able to go back and look at the stats. But I have forward tested many level 2 setups like the ones that are described in the No BS day trading book. I will tell you, the No BS day trading book is amazing, and what he's describing to you is absolutely the game that they play and how things work, especially in the treasuries. But it goes in cycles. So if you try and take one of those strategies and you're just doing it every time that you see it, you're not going to make money. And he even kind of is trying to say that at the beginning of the book. Hold on a second. I'm having like stomach. I'm burping a lot. Anyways, um, so the first signal that he talks about is the lure where it pulls and then all of a sudden it flips. But then he describes another situation where it does that and it gets hit into, and there's an iceberg there, and then it goes the other way. So he's kind of saying, like, here's the game, but there's two different ways that it can turn out, and you don't necessarily know which way it's going to turn out unless you know what the circumstances are. If you know something about the context of the day that gives you, that they're going to be trying to absorb some contracts short, and then you see that signal, then that's kind of when you want to take it. So it gets complicated. So are you a pro day trader? No, I don't consider myself a pro day trader. I consider it a hobby. That is to say, it's not like my sole source of income or anything like that. Take it very seriously, though. Okay, so look at that. So it sucks that we didn't get filled at 27.5, but I'm glad that I entered it the way that I did. Thank you for the answer. I'm not seeing any of the strats that work in stock market show up in the various futures markets, so I keep looking. Well, yeah, so the thing is that you're going to find with stocks. I mean, like, honestly, the people day trading stocks are primarily using momentum, right? They're trying to catch the gappers early in the morning and seeing the ones that everybody else is going to pile into later in the day. And the faster you get into them, the better. Futures is a much more efficient market. It's really hard to find those like a reliable technical signal in the futures market. I really feel strongly that in futures, you want to pay attention primarily to news. And you want to trade news and then use the technicals to kind of assist you in getting the best risk reward when you actually take those trades. Does that make sense? So, like on this one, I see that the E-mini is mildly bullish, and it appears that they think that this deal is going to get done somehow. And I suspect that we'll get more SoftBank shenanigans today. So I don't 100% know what's going to go on in the E-mini, but I can see that the treasuries have been in a downtrend and are likely to continue selling. So I wanted to wait for it to come back to the balance area and then try to get filled. So I saw that there was only about 800 contracts on it, 27.5. So I put a limit order there trying to get filled. It didn't get filled and they flipped. So I decided I will take it as she goes at 27 if they do it. And that's how it worked. And those are setups that he talks about in the No BS trading course, right? That's the lure and as she goes. Yep. But I was only able to take that trade because I had a larger news context backdrop to draw from. So they did sell there, but I'm noticing a decent amount of volume in the bids. So the Jigsaw DOM may not be necessary initially. Well, uh, I don't know. Like the thing is so there's kind of two things with the Jigsaw DOM. Okay, the first is that the thing that I really like about the Jigsaw DOM is just the way that you enter orders and move them around. It's really efficient, and just being able to click on the DOM. There's a reason, and Jigsaw, if you just have the tools up, then you just buy it the first time. But to execute on the DOM, you have to pay $50. And there's a reason that they charge you $50 because that's really like the truly worthwhile feature of the software. It's worth $50. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that this current trades column that we get here in the middle is really important too. So I'm just noting here that they've had to trade about 3,000 contracts every step down and hardly anything on the other side. So you're getting a lot of selling. The buyers are not pulling out of the way. They are taking the hits. So it's going to be hard. Okay, so that exactly, for instance, if I'm trying to be real fast here, and I think I want to, because there was a lot taken there, it just kind of reduces the chances of them being able to continue to push because you need a really strong trend to be able to just keep pushing down and down and down and down like that, right? Especially when it's so quiet. Interesting. I didn't see the additional fee about the 580 license. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like 500 to buy it, but then there's like $50 a month. Although if you usually they have like a deal in the fall to buy it all at once and get it a little cheaper. Well, suck. Let's see what happens here, because something that they might do is suck it back up on very little volume, and I might want to try holding out. Anyways, the current trades column is one of the things that you really get with Jigsaw that it's hard to get, and any future improvements that they get. The nice thing is that now that they have charts, you can just get Jigsaw, and the price compared to the other like Ninja Trader is expensive, man. Ninja Trader DOM sucks too. Probably the cheap alternative is going to be Sierra charts because you don't have to pay a huge amount up front for Sierra charts. What do you think about the book Technical Analysis of John Murphy? I've never heard of that. Gonna go with Tradeovate. They're okay. They've been changing their platform recently, so I don't know what to say about them. I've spoken to a number of people that use Tradeovate. They don't seem like wild about it, but they get by just fine. And the Jigsaw DOM integrates in with the trade of 8 charts and everything. I guess the thing though is that I really want a DOM to execute on. NinjaTrader's DOM isn't very good. Sierra Chart's DOM is acceptable. I don't know what kind of a DOM comes with the trade of 8 by default, but I know that you can use the Jigsaw DOM. But that's futures for you, right? You have to invest a bit up front. DOM is excellent on trade of 8. The NinjaTrader DOMs freezes if you hover over it. That's true. I actually wish I could set that up on Jigsaw. I wish that if I was over here, that it wouldn't auto recenter. I want it to auto recenter unless my mouse is over it. That should be a feature. You listening, Pete? Okay, well, that's a decent amount absorbing at 26.5. So, I don't know. For demonstration purposes, because I have a good spot in line, I think I'm going to leave that there. But I think that we have an okay chance at it coming back. Now, I could scratch out at 27 if I wanted to, right? Can see oil's moving up. Looks like maybe gold is giving back some of its gains. The dollar's so very, very weak today. Better than Ninja. Well, anything's better than the Ninja Dom. I don't know. The main issue with the Ninja Dom is it takes up so much darn space. That, and there's not an easy way to. So like something I really like is if I click down here on the buy, then that's a buy limit. But if I click up here, then that's a stop buy. And in NinjaTrader, in the NinjaTrader DOM, if I click up here, it'll just market buy, which I hate. You have to click a special button to be able to set a stop order. So I don't find it nearly as flexible. I guess there's other things like the stop limit orders, like the way that I got into this at 27. That's great too. It's a great feature. This is great info. Good deal. Tesla earnings is October 21st. It seems like it was just yesterday, man, that they were their last set of earnings. Hmm. So I can see the E-mini kind of paused there a little bit, and that the Treasury seems to be responding to it. We're going to get the open here. I bet you that this will fill on the open. Illinois governor blames Trump's allies for state's wrong direction on corona. It's just so crazy to me. Like all these Democrat governors and stuff that they can blame everything on Donald Trump. When the main criticism of Donald Trump is response has been that they haven't had a national response. They left it up to the states. It's so weird. They want to have it both ways with the coronavirus, and I always find what they say like frankly confusing. It makes no sense what they say. Wales to go into short and sharp lockdown from Friday until 9th of November, with people told to stay home while non-essential shops among businesses to close. I really hate calling something essential or not essential. Okay. So it ticked up, but not a lot bid there. So like, look, I could, this would should be an easy scratch. Cool. Fine. Especially since it's doing it on both sides and we're close to the E-mini open. I wouldn't be surprised though if they come back down here to 26 really quickly. Of course, I could still, I kind of canceled it, but I could still be trying to get short at 27.5. Although, based off of the way that last one kind of went, I'm a little. I could try, like I could put an order out there. I still really think that it's going to come down. I think I need to be cautious, especially about the open. So let's just kind of wait. Oh, this is the day 33 years ago, Black Monday. Forgot about all that. Okay, so now they're stacking up 2,000. There you go. So they might actually try and shove it up to the high. Vlad thinks that it will go back and retrace 3,500. The thing is that on Friday, I really think that the options traders were the ones that really cared about where it was at. Going forward today, it depends on if they decide to enter in new positions, and we can't really confidently predict that, right? Like I'm really going out on a limb there when I say like, oh, you might get SoftBank shenanigans today. They might just sell the F out of this. Okay. So buying on the open. Reset this. It's pretty tight in the E-mini, 900s printing there. Okay. Ah, and now volume at 26. No, getting some order stacking and pulling, and they just flipped it down there. That's curious. So I'm seeing something in the British pound. So probably some news had hit here. That might have been why the E-mini sold down, but the market not reacting terribly strongly to it. If we really believe there is news that's super negative, we could potentially buy the treasury here. That somebody is absorbing a couple of contracts at 26 half. But since we don't know what the news is yet, I'm going to sit on my hands. Sterling is actually moving up, so it might be a good thing. There's definitely some pushback in that area in the E-mini. 26 half did tick down again. Okay, so there's new RTH high. A few stops on that. Still not seeing this fill at 26, but there's an iceberg there, 26 half. So if we still wanted to go short, I suppose we could take that, but feeling more confident in what's going on in the E-mini right now than I'm in the treasuries. Yeah, I think we got to be careful here about chasing. That was an aggressive NQ up. Well, at the moment, it's kind of bubbling up, right? Give them another chance here. Got out of that one. 2 points isn't bad. We can be happy with 2 points. They're still not eating into 26 in the 10-year. Let's see, the E-mini could still go up. It's so what I'm worried about is there's like a little bit of volume, you know, stacking on there, and I'm getting like clicky clicks. So I'm like a little bit worried about them coming back across and testing the downside really quickly. Hmm. Okay, so there's the 26 it went. So we probably could have held that. Other than that, I'm trying to scalp it, and I think that this situation kind of made sense to not touch it. Um, I could try and as she goes here because we could still come down to 24. Have to say though, it's kind of a situation where getting filled with a limit order is really hard right now in the treasury. The UK and EU agreed to next joint committee meeting in November. That must have been what moved the sterling earlier. Suppose that's good. Okay. So 1,000 hit it. There's probably going to be some iceberging here. Like, I wouldn't expect it to just go without maybe 3,000. The E-mini's bubbling up again. I don't want to chase it, but, we could try getting in again. Hmm. 1834. And this is the issue with going with as she goes. So when you hit into it and it doesn't tick. Ah, okay. Good. See all that size at 24? Exactly where it should be, by the way. In fact, it might behoove me to front run that. Okay. Get out of that. So I'm not entirely sure if this is all going to work out, but I'm trying to be hyper risk adverse in the tenure. So I don't like what's happening over here in the E-mini per se. Um, yeah. At the very least, I could have gotten a better spot. Oh, oh, try it again. I don't know. I don't know if the hyper risk adverse thing over in the 10-year really worked out because I could have just held it from the 27, right? I don't like that come back, but he's firm too. You talking about that 74? Trying to hit it up in ZB. I don't know. Like you could see earlier, they're not there anymore, but there was like a ton of liquidity there at 24 in the 10-year, which is like right where the stop out would be. And it's the same thing in ZB. I don't think they market makers at the moment in the treasuries believe that this is just going to trend. Wow. If that's the case, then shouldn't we do this? Okay. I'm a little concerned about the E-mini here. Hey, I like that uptick. Ooh, yeah. Absorption backtick. Stack. Come on. Nope. Wow, that was a pretty big hit there, actually. E-Mini's trying to push. What do you think? It's still pretty tight and slow right there. I could try this. And over here again would be very tight. Okay, so Mnuchin and Pelosi will speak at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Can see. That's interesting. The EU Mini is the Spoos is gaining strength compared to the Nasdaq. At 24.5 is being kind of fickle. Okay. Hmm. Are we seeing people coming in after us? Maybe a little, but it really hasn't picked up yet. Hmm. 24.5. Solidifying a little. I'm thinking that they will get filled at 24 in the 10-year. It seems pretty tight, though. Okay, somebody slammed it there. I am seeing the cumulative delta kind of increase a little bit. It's very tepid. Very, very tepid. Ouch. So interesting. I think we need a bail here. How many times in an hour do you think I can change my mind, huh? Indigestion. Okay. So if this goes down, I'm going to need to move this. It's not quite dire yet. Hmm. Hmm. Look at that in the 10 at 25. And they've bought this back up now. I mean, there's a pretty strong down candle, and the buyers have responded. Overall, cumulative delta is still negative. Okay, so you can see the treasury, the kind of like the bid come up when they start selling again. Is it going to break this low now? Not quite yet, at least. This is pulling, which is a little concerning. You're getting the volume now. See, it shouldn't be that hard to get a tick there. Come on. There you go. Okay, a few stops at least. Didn't result in buying over here. Okay. We're going to get the housing index here in 5 seconds, by the way. Ooh, come on. There we go. Okay, it's 85 versus a forecast of 83. It didn't come down here. We can start looking at a couple of things. It is rolling over. You know what? I don't have this set up correctly. There we go. Gary, the entire week is going to be wow. I only got an STD and not AIDS with these down over up volume. Are you finding this price action frustrating, Gary? I don't know. I'm doing okay overall here, but yeah, I find it frustrating as well. I'm positive, but I'm finding this frustrating. Okay. Okay. Amazon decided to close its gap up. Well, I see still some downside potential. Okay, so we're getting a turn in the volume there. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but they're going crazy out there. Pretty fun. I don't know. I sure hope that what Gary says is not some um, premonition. 'Cause if it was like this all week, as slow as this all week, I'm gonna get awfully frustrated. Well, maybe not. I could maybe excel in an environment like that, but yeah. So they kind of turned down there with some intention. Again, not following through. The treasuries do lift it there. Saudi oil minister is talking. I'm not seeing him move the oil markets though. Okay, clicking there as they ticked down. Hmm. Okay, there's another new low. Come to Daddy Seth. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Okay. So over here in the treasury, I think 26.5 is fine. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of clicks over in the treasuries, but they're really far away. Isn't that weird? So it's like a robot expecting a 24 tick move or something? Like, what's with that? Should we like should we like only look at like the inside four? Let's do that and see. Okay, well they filled me there at 26.5. He's adding on like he's going to tick up. I don't think that the guy at 27 is going to pull away though, because that was an area of interest from before. So that they might need to fill them there at 27. And in the E-mini at below 76, I really can't say. We're well below what I think you've got for the open to be able to go. So that could really run, but Z made new highs under daily low, UVXY, hinting we were going to have a drop. Yeah. Well, you know what? The thing is it's not like the buyers didn't try. You know what I mean? Like they bought it up there for sure. Now the thing is that it looks to me like the buyers got washed out and then some. Oh, and there you go. So they did take it up at 27 and it was 2000. So I guess I was wrong. Now there's 27.5 too, right? 27.5 was that area where I wanted to get short originally and I couldn't get in. Kind of skidding along the Bollinger Band here. So this is not one that we can chase. No, sir. So now that I've switched it to only show the inside view, I am seeing some bits. Financial Juice is like, well, let's see if there's a headline. I don't think that there is. Let's stop runs. I again believe, and I don't know. I know there's going to be new people watching, so I just always want to kind of put it in there that it seems to me that this market is very much like trend following. So what happened there was some people staked out positions up at the top. And then once they started breaking that low, then everybody said, okay, it's a sell day. So all of the retail traders are just going short. Now, the issue with that is that there might not be any reason for it to go short. Like news could come out, like all sorts of things. So it's like I don't want to follow the crowd. I want to be the crowd to follow me. I think that we did a good job with that on our original short. Not our original short, but just when we went short this last one. And I think we did a really, really good job of that in the treasury. Now, I do kind of wish that I had waited to see if I can get 27.5 because look at that stacking at 26 and 26.5. It's thick there. You're short from 34.82. Wait, what did I catch? I caught it. Ooh, I did better. I got 89, but I took it off. I already took it off. I should have held it there. Well, no, I did the right thing, but it really flushed there afterwards. Well, we should come and look at our VIX levels here, right? Good job. Yeah, thank you. Good job to you too. I can see where you would have taken it. I think you were maybe a little bit. Oh no 91 or no. What did you say again? 82. Why 82? No, I don't understand why you got it at 82. Must have been chasing. Must have been chasing. So did that break the overnight low? Yes, it did. I need to keep pushing down so I can take the rest of the week off. Lol, yeah, it was a bit of FOMO. I get you. Well, the reason I took it off is because I can see that they're well past um, any kind of stops that could have been created by both by positions today, right? So like anybody that was long today has been long washed out. This money that pushed us from 76 and below was new money coming into the market. But that's where I'm kind of like, okay, so we've got about 3,000 contracts or so short now. Last month I said the 2 trillion stimulus was needed, still negative that rat turd. Week 3 October was going to be volatile. 50 million, 2 out of 3 not bad. Yeah, it's not bad, Garrich. I have to say your predictions haven't been too bad. I don't know. Like this is the thing going back to kind of like last time we talked. The thing that I find so frustrating is that um you're really good at the news part and I get the news part. But you also claim to be really good at the technical part, and I don't get what you do on the technical part. I really, really want to reduce the excursion on my e-mini trades and the win rate because I do win overall, but I usually have 2 or 3 losers in a row before I get it. And I'm not sure what I've got to do to position myself right. It's like I got the overall gist of it correctly, but I just can't seem to time it and place it perfectly every time. And when I try and take it with momentum, because that would be one way to possibly fix that, right? Then, it gets stuck, especially when it turns into like chop. I guess today it might have worked, but maybe I should just move back over to treasuries because, I took a bunch of trades on the treasuries there. How many did I do? Four. But I scratched 3 of them. But they were all good. They were all good trades. Like none of those in the 10-year ticked against me. And this one I could have potentially have taken 2 off of it. And then this last one was where it went like 4 in my favor. Every limp trick attempt rally, I will fade them? Real, you're that bearish, huh? Yeah, well, that kind of volatility is why I haven't been trading it live, so. It's crazy out there. I think I'm going to move brokers before I start trading it live again. So we are back above the 76. So this was kind of what I was concerned about. I think that the way I need to play it, it seems like if I take it off exactly at the level that you always miss out on a little bit. I think what I need to be looking for is some absorption after the breach of it. So in this case, it would have been at 72. That would have been quite a bit more that I could have made. So I've been kind of studying past charts and looking for places where it crosses, and doesn't seem like there's price action responses directly to the levels, but those stop out zones, it definitely has a tendency to go well past it and then snap back. Should come down again. Well, it could. I think they're trying to balance out a little bit. So if the sellers overextended on the downside, then I can see them coming at least to 80. Well, there's 80. They could come back to 82. I see 82 at the moment. We'll see what it does here in a minute, what my latest reading is. Are you funded with Edge Clear? Well, I'm not fund. I fund my own accounts, but I'm on AMP futures right now. I'm really thinking about going to Edge because I've spoken with them a lot. I just really like them. So, and with Edge Clear, we can kind of get a thing going where we can get like a group discount sort of a thing. Because to be honest, I kind of, well, there's a couple of different things that I want to do, right? Because the thing is always getting better at trading. This edge that we've been using right now, I feel really good about it. I think that I would still like to see some what it performs like the beginning of next year because that tends to be some of my best times in trending, and it might not be as useful during that time. So I kind of want to see how I end up taking, you know, but that's really good. So I'm happy with that. But there's some things that we can do to improve that, and I really want to do some more investigation on it. So to do that investigation, there's a couple of things that we're going to need. There's some more exotic data that we want to combine with it. There is some uh, computing power that I think we need to add here to really like thoroughly test it. Requires a lot of RAM and so forth. Um, and overall, we kind of want to play with it. So that's why I'm working on making the indicator available to you guys for $10 a month for a channel subscription. You can actually try it out right now if you want, but it's not like official yet. And um, so that we can improve the development on there. So that's like the first thing on my mind is like just keep trading this and practicing with it and then see how it goes with you know when we get that other data. But then the other thing is like on the edge clear front is that I just feel like that the biggest issue that we often have. Oh, my mistake not being funded. I meant open account. Now I haven't moved over to them yet. But then the other thing is that it's just like, yeah, trading is hard and it's alone. And I'm kind of finding that you might find a really good edge, but um, the market changes a lot, and so it's a constant struggle to stay on the up. And when you're competing against like these companies that have whole companies behind them, and it's just you, that's super hard. So even though you don't want to be following the crowd, I think that it is wise for retail traders to kind of like gang up together. And so I really like the whole thing that you can do with a group discount. And, we can have some Discord rooms for you guys for that to, kind of talk about what you're doing. And then you could, um, well, not only can you combine what your edges together, but we could get people to manage the risk for you. I don't know if it would be right for me to be the one that manages the risk. I'd be willing to try that. But if it's not, and we're pulling in enough income from these other things, we could pay somebody to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have one with AMP. That's what I'm using. But I'm not trading it right now. I could place orders, but I'm not trading it right now because I've just learned that this is just way too volatile for me right now. I've been doing better. I mean, today is good. I had some good days last week, but I think that we still need to. I think maybe there's still some missing pieces. You know what I mean? This edge that we're using seems to be really good for swing trading. It doesn't seem to be really good for getting perfect entry yet. Oh, you currently use another broker associated with Ninja. Gary Rich says, I don't know what he's talking about. He might be sometimes when Gary Rich is watching, he seems to be like a little bit behind. Like he's watching it and what he's seeing is a minute behind what you guys are seeing. I just got Jigsaw and use Edge Clear, and so far it has been a good overall experience. Good smoker. Yeah, I mean the thing is like Edge Clear versus Amp, for instance. Like commission wise and everything else like that. They're great. I mean, both of them are going to be fine for you. They both have low commissions for your like the base commissions for you guys. There's all fine. But Edge Clear just seems to me to be much more in tune with what retail traders are doing in need and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the thing that irks me about brokers is that the main thing for a broker is the support, right? Because they're not handling the actual, that's what the FXCM is for. So it's kind of almost like, well, why don't you just use the FXCM? Well, the FXCMs are so big and they can't handle the support for everybody. So you're getting in brokers, it's support. So you're paying the broker for the support, and then you call in to the broker and you get somebody that you can't understand what they're saying, or they're clearly not a technical person. That's where I'm like, okay, what am I paying you guys for? Have other people manage the risk? Have y'all been hitting your head against the wall? Well, so here's what I mean by that, Gary. If you are trading for a Wall Street firm, for instance, there will be like risk controllers that can come in and they can say, okay, you've passed your risk for the day and you seem to be on tilt, so I'm going to cut you off. And that's where I'm saying, I wish I want somebody to cut me off. I wish I can go in and I can tell my broker I don't want to lose more than 100 in a day or something like that. But I wish that I had somebody that was even more intimately involved with it. You know what I mean? Like that is keeping track of my trades and my performance and everything, and knows me and can say, okay, you know what? It seems like you're just not doing so great, and wouldn't even necessarily cut me off, but just be the person to say, okay, Seth, let's take a breath, or maybe work through you with you, right? Like you having two bad trades. Okay, I come in here, mentor you a little bit, talk about what it is that you're seeing, and maybe when we go through it slower, then you're able to catch a good one. You know what I mean? So Futures Trader 71 used to do that, and it sounded. But the problem with that was that there was too many people, right? So the thing with the groups with Edge Clear is that it's possible to set that sort of a thing up with lots of different groups. So you can, if you all have a mentor that you like and are willing to let them see um, what your performance is that day, and then you give him your contact information, and he can come in and he can talk to you about it. Because the emotion is hard to control, and you know, Gary, you know that I do it, don't you? I tilt hard. I don't know what to do about it. For me, the emotional regulation and self-awareness of my emotions is not there. It just isn't. So I need to externalize that. I'm going to do that by telling the broker to put a pretty tight loss limit on me for a day, but I think that you could do better than that, So that's kind of the direction that I want to take things as apart from just with my trading. Oh yeah, Vlad picking up on that story about the central bank is not in any rush to create a digital dollar. So I think that what's been going on with that story, if I could, just because you brought it up, it seems like a lot of people are coming in and like selling the treasuries or doing things with the dollar because of this expectation that like, oh, they're going to give everybody a wallet and then they're going to start putting money in it and they're going to destroy the value of the currency. And so I think that the Fed chairman is saying that today to kind of tamp down on that. You know what I mean? If you do it yourself, you never hold on it. Yeah, well, you need somebody that's not emotionally involved in it. You know what I mean? With Pelosi saying she believed stimulus deal would be done before the election, I thought we would have broken Friday's high. Well, I agree with you, um, live action. I tend to control my emotions great when trading paper. I'm not sure if I do or not. Usually when I'm doing well, let me say it this way. When I'm doing well with live, it's exactly the same thing. But I can get into this mode where it's like I have a bad day and then I'm damaged for a long time after that. So I've found that the bad runs tend to come all together. So like last time around, it was like I had a bad day. I backed off, waited a week or two for conditions to be better, picked it up again, did really well for a week or two, and then started tilting again. So, anyways, but here again, I'm not so sure that this move down to 3470. Okay, so it's maybe a 20 handle move down. It's not at least in this market, not a huge deal. And I think overall, yeah, overall, I don't think that it's the end of the world. So Gary says, "Why don't you do it yourself? If you lose X money, stop for the day." That I Here's the thing. I wish it was that simple. I think that one, I often don't realize that I've reached that point, and two, I often seem to just try to keep going anyways. Because it's not like a hard stop. It's like, well, I've said that, but in this circumstance, and I think it's okay and it's moving, so I should be able to. It's just, I don't think that works for most people. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the number of people that have issues that would do. Now, I have been going along, now that I've kind of fixed everything else up. John wants me to look at something today. Um, so I have a couple of maybe some new programming things to look at. But then after that, I think I need to pick back up the Risk Control Center because that would help. Just the fact that it comes up and gives me a message might be enough to be like, okay, probably we should just stop this, right? A Risk Control Center will be an awesome thing if we can get it to if we can do it. Well, I know I can do it, at least show you a message. So I don't know why I haven't gotten in that deep into it. A bunch of other stuff kind of came in. Now all prop trading companies have a daily loss, and there's a reason for that. Yeah, and those they have risk controllers, and the banks, the big banks have risk controllers. The thing is that at that point, then you can start to do risk analysis that's way more sophisticated. You know, I don't know. I think that any place where you can get other people involved in helping you, that it can be beneficial. I think that the biggest disadvantage. I know this is going to be like a big statement, but I really think that the biggest disadvantage that the retail trader has from all of the other market participants is that they're doing it alone. Of course, that's also some advantages, but I think overall that's the biggest disadvantage that they have. Because you might go in and find a real edge, and then it goes away, and then you have to find something new, and that's hard to do all by yourself. It's a constant struggle. Yeah. But then you don't have the fun of realizing at the end of the day, instead of taking 3 bad trades you took 33 bad trades, and now you need to send your broker money. There you go. Oh. There's all a grand plan here, you guys. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, where are the issues for both myself and for the community at large, and how can we fix them? And then once we get through that portion of the plan, I think that the next step after that is to expand a little bit. Oh, actually, I should show you guys this. Let me show you. I don't know if I can show you on the camera very well or not. If it will show super great on my phone here. Let me see. If I come in. Oh, will it still show you last week's? Yeah, it will. Cool. So let's see if it will show you this. Maybe I need to turn the brightness way down. No. Brightened up anyways. That's funny. So I've been trying this new account called Yotta, Yotta, and it's a savings account. But instead of paying you interest, they give you a lottery ticket each week. So there's no risk of loss or anything like that. But basically, instead of just paying you straight interest, they pay the interest to you through the weekly lottery. And so they give you a number each week, and each day, and the first 6 numbers, it's like any can match any. So if it comes out 7 and you have 7 anywhere on one of these, then it will match up, right? So those blue dots, those are the ones where I matched. So here, if you match 4, then you get $10, right? So this time I made 10. And then this one I think is 25 cents, and then this one is 10 cents and 10 cents. But here's the crazy thing about it. Okay. I signed up for them and I put the minimum deposit that you can put in at $25. And then I invited my wife. So I invited my wife and she put in $25. And when you do that, you each get bonus tickets. So I put in $25, and because of the bonus tickets, I made $10 this week, and she made $10 this week. So I guess a referral is worth about $10, but I made 50% in 1 week on a savings account. Isn't that cool? But the thing that I like about it so much is that they give you a number each day, and it gives you a notification on the phone, and I'm involved. I want to see what I get, and I want to put more in. So it encourages you to save in your savings account. And I want to use this to build up, to kind of put the buffer. I kind of have a buffer, but I think that I could put it in here and it'd be great. So do that. But anyways, it's cool. And I kind of want to share it with you guys. So I have a referral link. Let me dig up my referral link. And if you guys sign up for it, then both of us get $10 basically. Well, I mean, you get put into the lottery, but on average, you're going to make $10. The thing is I made all that. Here, you see, I even have here. I forgot that I did that. So here it is. how it worked. You see. So I matched 4, so you won $10. This last one is like a ball. Like if you match on the Sunday ball, then that one's worth a lot more than if I had matched the Sunday ball. I think that it would have been like a couple $100 or something like that. Anyways, that's the way it works. But where's the link? There's the link. Copy link address. So I'll give it to you guys. I know it's Gary's like lol lottery. It is kind of a funny thing. Oh man. Control C. Let me do it that way maybe. Because I wanted to copy the. There we go. So if you click that link I just put there in the chat, then we both get $10 essentially. You can also use here. I'll put in the code in case you, because the best way to do it is to just like download the application to your phone. So I'll give you my key here too. There you go. That's the other key. You want to play bingo? Well, it's funny, but the whole thing here is there's the cool thing about it. It's a savings account, but because of the way that it works and the fact that it's new, you make more than a traditional savings account. Like right now, if you're lucky, you can maybe make 1%, and this is basically paying out like 2% per year for me. And yeah, I mean, it scales. So what happens is you get, for every $5, you get a ticket. So if you put, $1 million in the savings account, then you get a lot of tickets and you'll make a lot off of the tickets each week. Yeah, but there's also like that random freak chance, right? Because if you get the top prize, the top prize is like $50 million or something like that. But I really want to kind of branch out at some point. We're not quite there. Still a lot that we've got to do for futures. A lot of videos and stuff that we want to make for futures. But we should start laying the groundwork to start spreading out into other things. But if you try that out, and then if you do try my link and you deposit money in, we'll both get $10. But then when you win, like come back and show me what you got, because I want to know. I want to know how good. I mean, it's still really new and experimental. I actually can see this thing like picking up like wildfire. Oh, it gets great. Like you guys, if you have a lot of friends, here's the thing that's so great about it for you guys, like here in chat. We got a lot of people watching, by the way. Thank you guys very much. If you enjoy this content, you give that button that like button a click, and that helps the channel out immensely. But for you guys, you're very financially literate, and probably a lot of friends and stuff will rely on you for kind of financial advice or whatever. So here's the thing where you can say, hey, look, I found a savings account that you get a better interest rate on. And you can share them the link. And it's basically $10 per referral, right? But get this. There's like tiers. So if you've invited 10 or more people to the service, then each invite becomes essentially worth like $100. Yeah? So I think if for you guys in particular, because you probably have a lot of people you can invite to, it's probably could be an opportunity for you too. Because I think that a lot of people will pick up. So if you're getting in early with the invites and everything, I used to have 1% savings American Express, and now it's become 6%. Wow. Yeah, it's the savings rates right now are just dismal. I mean, I really kind of wonder what happens when we've had such an artificially low savings rate for like 30 years or something like that. Then what happens? Is that really like sustainable? You know what I mean? The whole thing is just kind of, It's weird to think about. It's weird to think that when I was a kid, like the house that I grew up in, the interest rates were like 5 to 8%. Remember, I was saying, oh, I think the interest rates could keep going up. I mean, we're not to 5% or 8%. It could keep going up. And then the pandemic hit. Well, actually, there was that mistake that the Fed made too. Well, there's another new low. By the way, they went higher on the pullback than I thought. They actually were able to pierce the buyer's cost basis and go bullish again for a moment before dumping. So we're kind of beyond where my numbers are able to help, I'm wondering, and maybe I need to put a longer term one on here. Like maybe weekly or monthly levels or something like that. Well, let's see here. They closed at 34.61 yesterday. So that's a spot that we could look at. What's it called again, and how do I deposit? So I'll click the link here again. So it's here in chat. So here's the link. Oh my gosh, why is it being like that? They always try and URL shorten it for you first. So there's the link. It's called Yotta, YOTTA. So if you click on my link, then we get the referral and we both get essentially $10. Well, it's like 100 tickets, but that's essentially about $10. Okay, so what are you guys saying here? Well, that's saying this is bad. I mean, it seems bad, but it is a retrace of, just Friday. So NQ is more troublesome. Yeah. So I'm noticing that the NASDAQ is getting pummeled quite a bit. In fact, come look at this spread here, dude. It's probably too tight to see on that one. Let me show you in this one. Okay. So the relative NQ versus E-mini performance, that's a pretty aggressive change there, I would say, down at the bottom there. I mean, it's just getting started, but perhaps an indication that this could run. Is this refer friends? Sounds like a Tupperware party or a Nigerian love letter. Savings account sucks and always have been. Well, I think that what you should use it for is to have a buffer. So like, you always want to have at least a month or 2 months worth of savings for a raining day, and you don't want that money to be in the markets at risk, right? So that would be a great reason to use the Yada account, is for your rainy day fund, right? So you put it in there. Yeah, you're right. The savings rate that you get is pretty terrible right now, but you're going to get more with this than you're going to get with other savings accounts. So it's your best bet right now. And like I said, it's fun and it gets you thinking about it. So especially for you guys that keep saying, "Oh, I really need to save up for X thing and put some money aside," but I always forget, and then you know the opportunity has passed and I buy something or whatever, then this is perfect. And that's why I got it, because my wife was always saying that. Well, that was a pretty good excursion there on that last move down, but they pulled back awfully quickly. What is Chris saying? Tank his campaign. Why would you kill the goose with the golden eggs? Not sure what he's talking about. So far, technical. I'm wondering. Oh, we should move back over to here. Like, why am I showing that? Look, guys, I made $100. That's good trading today. For a Monday, I think today went really well. I don't like that I've got this run right here. But since they were all $10 and everything, it's fine. But just to get all of those, they're like no favorable ticks at all. I hate that happens. Analytics says I think longs might have a problem. Yeah, well, so I think you might have missed it a little bit earlier, Analytic, but I was saying that based on my, well, I'll show you. So here's my main chart, right, where I kind of use the positioning. So the blue line is the average buyer's position, and the orange line is the average seller's position. Then there's this dotted orange line, and there's a dotted blue line, but it's like really far down there. You can't see it. Okay, so I'm looking for overnight, what was the average buyer and seller position? Okay, so if we're going to sell, I would expect them to come down to at least here. And you can see here with the amount of volume that came on, they were able to actually go quite a bit down. So, and if you look at the cumulative delta and everything else like that, it's like they washed everybody out, right? And then about 3,000 more. So about 3,000 people went short and got stuck, and that's what pushed us back up to just above the buyer's cost basis. And then they went down again. So this looks to me like mostly just retail trading chasing, and possibly just trying to retrace the gap from Friday, right? So even though things look really bad, I'm not sure if we're to the point when we can really read a ton into it yet. It could be bad though, I agree. Like if it gets really bad, that's how it would start, right? That's how it would start if things get really bad. But I don't know. They might stop there. There might be another rush down because there's still, to get to the bottom of the gap. Oh, actually, yeah, 61. So, and another little flush to 61. Then you have to start thinking about this point of control at 54. And this node here at 43. Well, let's say 50. Say 50 first. But it also kind of makes you wonder from a technical perspective when you look at this, So especially if we break this low right here, then the chart really starts to look very negative, doesn't it? Let's come back and look at the ES here. So if we come below that, then the chart starts to look really bad, doesn't it? Maybe we could visit that moving average down at 3,400 or so again. I haven't real indigestion this morning. Rob says 4 nice trades. Just noticed my Dom was on sim. Well, congratulations that you made money. Is it too early to drink? Yes. If you made money, well, I don't know what you do. I mean, I don't. You do some work, I guess. There'll always be stuff to do. But it's a Monday. Don't get into that early drinking habit. No. Huh. Oh, let's see here. AK sent me one too. What did you do here? Oh, that's real good. Oh, wow. How are you doing that? Oh, you were talking. That was the kind of the setup they were talking about the other day, isn't it? Well, that's good. I mean, you didn't have any losers, so but it does look like awfully high win rate on that. And you're making about 12 points too, which is really good. to make 12 points and have that high of a win rate, especially if your risk reward ends up being equal. Wait, so where's the MAE? Okay, so it is going a little bit against you. So he's actually making a lot more on the winners than on the losers. But because of where he's taking them off at, I guess that's why it ends up being $30. You can see there on the MFE that at one point it was almost 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 ticks unfavorable. So overall, I'd say that's really good. If that's the setup that we were talking about, then man, that's awesome. Drinking kills brain. We need all the brain we can get here for elections volatility, right? Well, that's why I'm avoiding it, because I'm afraid that election volatility will kill brain. Yellen, we can have more debt. Other trader commented, I thought she's fired. No, she's not. Well, I don't know if she was necessarily fired as much as replaced, but I miss her. Listen, if they hadn't have replaced Yellen, then that whole setup in 2019 wouldn't have been a thing. We'd be in a different spot today. Drinking doesn't kill brain, but doesn't it if you're like too young and stuff like that? President campaigning a lot in Pennsylvania. I've been seeing Biden in Pennsylvania too. I think that Pennsylvania is probably closer than people give credit for. Kills your neuron linkings. I think you're talking about fetal alcohol syndrome. No, when I was in school, they said no. The reason why you can't drink until you're 19 or whatever is because it hampers your brain development or something like that. That it's like actively harmful if you're too young. Was that an old wives' tale? Oh, you know what? Another thing I didn't notice, but even though we did go through the 26 half, it stopped soon after that. So our trade in the treasury was almost spot on. It messes up youth brains. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. I don't drink. So I don't keep up on that stuff. If you have bad digestion, drink one shot, you won't die. Who's the best broker for risk controls? Well, I don't really know from experience. So I want to go over to EdgeClear because I feel like I might be able to get some of that. But almost any broker, you can go and you can call them up and you can say set a limit. I don't want to lose more than $50 in a day. You know what I mean? Anyways, my ranking, the ones that I'm most interested in is it's going to be EdgeClear and AMP and I like Optimus futures for certain setups. Who else is out there? Trading technologies, if you can afford it, of course. Live action. I tell you what, Optimus Futures not good tips on YouTube. Yeah, well, he makes those videos. I don't really watch them. I have to say I've spoken to him a lot, and he has a lot of good stuff to say. They're pushing a little bit more of like your typical technical analysis kind of stuff, which I'm kind of like, okay. Because the advantage that you get with guys like Optimus is that they have really good support, which is really what the broker does. Edge Clear, good bunch of guys, but check their margins. Well, yeah, their margins are higher for sure. You know, you're totally right. And like your minimum account balances are higher too. But I think that that's largely because they want customers to stick around longer. They don't want somebody that just comes in, blows the account, and you make the commissions off of it, and you're done. Which, frankly, some of the discount brokers, I kind of feel like that's what they're after. This is the same thing with like software. Like that's why decided, if we're gonna make this available to you guys so that we can, you know, have some income streams to help develop it more with. Let's do it on a monthly thing instead of charging it, because I've seen some people out there, man, selling packages and stuff for like $10,000. Yeah, okay, I'll fleece you $10,000 all at once right at the beginning. It's just ridiculous. Versus, if it's a monthly fee, then if it's not really worth it, then you stop. You just cancel and you stop paying it, and you're not out much of anything. Like with this, you get that for $10 a month. If you don't use it, if you don't find it useful to your trading, then cancel. Uh, 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 uh. What's Politico saying here? Prepare yourselves for an election surprise, Democrats. In competitive Senate races across the country, including states where Trump remains popular, Republican incumbents are facing a conundrum: how to prove their pro-Trump bona fides to a mega movement that sees many longtime Republicans as insufficiently pure, while stopping the hemorrhaging among suburban moderators who wonder why they have enabled the president. The result for Ernst and as many as half a dozen other GOP colleagues may be the worst of both worlds, in which they risk alienating energized Trump backers if they criticize the president, but then, if they stick with him, lose some centrist voters. Several of these Republicans are losing or clinging to narrow leads, but almost all of them are performing just slightly worse than Trump. When looking at averages of polls dating back to September 20th, that measure support for both Senate and presidential races. How each candidate navigates the dynamic over the next 2 weeks could determine whether Republicans hold on to the 53-47 majority that has, among other things, served as a defender. Okay. Guys at TT are friends with Edgeclear? Every Everybody's fun with those. Kulud asks if I'm trading. I'm not trading live right now. I'm waiting till after the election, probably actually next year, because this time period hasn't necessarily been the most positive. So I know that there's opportunity like into October, and that's really what happened. I did really good. I was trading that live account. I did really good there August, September. Man, I had a period there of like a month and a half where I just could do no wrong. But that was mostly live. But November's kind of been a little sketchy in the past. December has definitely been sketchy in the past for me. And then January, February, March are usually some of my best months. So that's what we'll do. But right now with the election volatility, I've been finding it some of these days have been difficult. Sometimes it's like I catch like the move like we did today and it's like easy peasy. How are you guys not making money? Like what the heck is going on? But then all of a sudden it's like I no matter what I do, it stops me out and I'm like what the hell? So I think that even though we have a really solid edge, it is kind of more of a swing trading edge. And I don't want to be taking on swing trading risk, so I need to refine some things still. Well, we have a couple of ideas, a couple of things that we're looking into right now. Constant thing. And let me tell you what. I tell you, I was looking at some other people's stuff the other day, and I would notice that there was like this indicator package somebody was selling for thousands of dollars in mentorships for like $10,000, and like their indicators were still on NinjaTrader 7, and they hadn't done any updates to anything for years and years and years. You know what that is? That is somebody that is just making the money off the indicators. If you're like really trading with it, and I trade with these things, then you're constantly trying to develop new edges, right? Because you know that the market can arbitrage edge away, and you gotta stay one step ahead. Mm, if not ideal to hone skills trading all conditions. Yeah. Well, if I was good at trading all conditions, then I would do it, but I'm not. Wednesday is going to be good at heavy hitters reporting earnings. Okay. Yeah, it seems like bearish, but I don't think that it's the end of the world yet. I could see this week getting really bad though, especially if that stimulus doesn't happen. I'm really skeptical that stimulus is going to happen. I was kind of like, so Nancy is still talking positive about it. How is that the case? Book looks a little bit mixed right now, by the way. Well, we'll stick around for another 20 minutes. So I'm sure that there's a couple of lurkers out there. If you guys have questions or there's anything about what you're seeing that you don't understand, now is a really great time to ask. What is DKNG? So Vlad's always pulling stuff at DraftKings. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. They're down 4%, really. Wait, what is the last 5 days? Oh, the last 5 days is ugly too. The last month? Ew. Wait, 6 months? Okay, 6 months is okay. 8 says he doesn't understand what he's seeing. Well, Ace, the blue columns are limit buy orders, and the orange red columns are limit sell orders. And the two columns in between that are the market buy and sell orders hitting into those limit orders. This column is the price. Treasuries are priced by 30 seconds. Well, here it goes from 0 to 32. You see how it goes 30, 31, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Over here in the 10-year, it's the same thing, but it's in halves, right? 24, 24 half, 25, 31 half, 139. Huh? And then in the 5-year, it does it in quarters, right? 21, 21 and a quarter, 21 half, 21 and 3/4, or 21 pack is what we call it because 3/4 is too long to say. 22. All right, that's right. And this column is your volume profile. This column right here is where the orders show up, and it will show you how much money you make at each level. And this column is just for my notes. What platform is this? I have Interactive Brokers, and I am lost in it. Oh, yeah. So I'm using Jigsaw Day Trader together with the NinjaTrader 8. If you go on my channel, I have a video on there. What is the best futures trading software platform? And I kind of go into why I use and what I use. And if you get Jigsaw, I have an affiliate link. So if you decide to buy it, then, it helps the channel out. But if we're trading futures, so I should just point out, like we're trading futures, we're a little bit more focused on the macro picture, like the whole index as a whole, where the treasuries as a whole are going, other commodities, currencies, things like that, as opposed to what's the hot stock today that everybody's going to be trading. Interactive brokers is going to be based a lot more off of, trying to take advantage of the stocks and the options. But here, I'm pretty sure that Interactive Brokers does have a DOM, and you can actually, I believe that you can actually hook up Jigsaw into Interactive Brokers. Let me see here, because if I come into connections, what is the name of their data feed? You got Gain, IQ Feed, Rhythmic, CQG, Tradeovate, TTR, REST API. I think that's Trading Technologies, Stellar, Bitfinex, JX Feed, and IBTWS. I'm pretty sure that one of those is Interactive Brokers, but I don't remember which one it was. IB has a Find DOM. I've used it before. Well, there you go. If you have it, as long as you have a DOM. Which indicators do you have on these charts? Well, this one right here is my resting orders that we're playing with. Kind of interesting, don't you think? I haven't found like a really, really great setup with it yet, but it is interesting. And this one right here is cumulative delta, which is all market buys minus all market sells. Then I have some moving averages on there, which are not too important. Also, I have two data series imposed on top of each other. So I have another video about trading multiple time frames, where I link to that indicator so you can download it and you can kind of get the overlaid bars like that if you want. They did well, yeah. The resting orders is one that I've made and is going to be available in the package that I'm putting out for you guys. The multi-time frame bars, that's a free indicator that I have out there. You can either find the video or you can go into the downloads channel on Discord. Rex says you use Rhythmic, but on your website you recommend Kinetic. How come? So Kinetic is the Ninja Trader data feed platform. So that website is set up to be a part of a thing that they've got with Ninja Trader. I don't know. I don't want to go into too much detail yet until it's like a done thing, but it's mainly because that's what you use if you're going on Ninja Trader. But you're right. I do use Rhythmic, and the difference that you're going to get with Rhythmic is it's going to show you more levels. And I want to work towards using market by order data soon. So I use Rhythmic. Don't read too much into it. Either or is going to be fine for most of you. You're only going to want to go to one or the other if there's something really specific that the one has and the other doesn't. And you'll know when you find that thing. Funny Trading Blind One Fund said their best trader flipped a coin before the open, but if you have a large account, you could manage yourself green if wrong. Well, you can totally, like, even if you're just providing liquidity, you can totally make money on it going against you. Like my model definitely shows that out, that both sides make money still. The ones that lose money are the market orders, generally speaking, unless there's a big move, and then the market orders win. The market year retail army, do they need more regulation? Let's read that. Follow up to our earlier post, it's about call flow mania. The upper chart is filtered for small lots compared to the total customer call options premium. Retail has only taken a small pause when it comes to trading calls. It seems in this world of regulation, we ask ourselves if the new
quote-unquote retail trader actually understands what he or she is doing, especially when it comes to options trading. CFD brokers must have the warning text about some 75% of their clients losing money. Will the hot retail call punter soon be seeing a similar warning sign? The thing that's so interesting about it is that options can be a really good tool for a retail trader that's managing a portfolio to manage their risk smartly, but nobody's using it that way. They're all just using it for YOLO plays. And the funny thing is I mean, it's taken a little bit of a breather. Will it come all the way back down? I don't know. Like they're going to have to get creamed. Clearly, when we had that big move from the all-time highs, that hurt them a bit. The market year. By the way, if you're not following the market year on Twitter, that is like my favorite Twitter account. Let's see. We had the bill auction coming up here. Yeah. Man. It's like just all of the sudden the sleepiness has come. I'm going to shut this down and got some work to do today at work. You know what happened? Oh my gosh, so funny story. I don't know if it's really a funny story. Oh, you know what? I forgot something really important, guys. I forgot something really important. I have a new video out today. It's kind of a little self-deprecating too. You might love it. Already 23 views. I really have like the best audience, guys. You're great. I don't know if it's well, it's a good video. It really is. It's a good video. Here, I'll give you guys the link so that you're in 10 minutes so you can go and watch it afterwards. But it's the biggest mistakes day traders make. And I talk about a couple of the big boo-boos that I made. So there's some fun stuff in there. I also share some of my controversial opinions. So we'll see if people pick up on that and start arguing with me on them or not. The new product VolQ, it's going to be a fun, right? Oh, we should wait. It's up already, right? I wonder if we can get it. I wonder if I can see it. Let's try. I have to come in here, and no. Oh, good. It doesn't show you anything. No, that's not what we want. Oh, I'm not connected to any of them. Oh, so then I should be able to see it over here in NinjaTrader. VolQ. No, there's a future. What is the instrument going to be? What is the... Okay, let's go look it up. VolQ. Futures. Do you have leverage to trade future? Well, yeah. So, I mean, the way that it works, I basically need over here in the E-mini $50 in margin. You actually get a lot less than $50 in margin, but let's just for the simplicity's sake say you're going to trade $50 in margin per contract, and if it moves 20 handles in the S&P 500, you make $50. So yes, it's extremely highly leveraged, and a move these days, like an average move these days, can double the capital at risk. That makes sense. But of course, you don't want to trade even close to the maximum number of contracts that you can, right? VLQ. There we go. Does it load? I was looking at 30-second bars. It's not loading, guys. It is running already, isn't it? Do you trade perpetual swaps? No. I'm actually not 100% sure what a perpetual swap is. I don't know. I would be really careful with some of those things like swaps and CFDs and stuff like that. They're kind of like not really. Yeah. Futures are about as exotic as I think you can get before you start running into some real risks with what you're doing. I mean, futures trading is risky enough, man. So Vlad says stimulus is unlikely. That's why I think they are selling. I don't know. They have another dip to go for sure, right? Like to the 60 area, and then they've closed the gap. The thing that I find so funny is that on the overnight they were positive because Pelosi said she's hopeful that a deal will get done. But I'm sitting here like, if you're hopeful that a deal will get done, why set an arbitrary deadline on them like that? You know what I mean? Just seems kind of silly to me. And how many times have we been told, oh, yeah, we're hopeful that a stimulus deal will get done too. And then it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the stock PR line. I'm really shocked that the markets keep falling for that. Okay. So we need to come back here. When does the volatility index futures start trading? I thought that they already started. Oh, they have been trading. They went live on the 5th, but I don't get it in NinjaTrader, at least. Nancy needs a broom and a hat. Well, now you're getting too much into my own opinion. You want my own opinion? Here's my own opinion. The most toxic force in Washington today is Nancy Pelosi and has been for the past, 15 years? Everything, all of this crazy crap that's been happening the past while, it all started when Nancy became the Speaker of the House. Way back in 2006 when they took it from Bush. And she started this nonsense. And they played games the whole time. And yeah, that's how they were able to get Obama in. A lot of it had to do with Nancy's strategies. And it's kind of been like that ever since. Nancy's been the one that's made it like practically impossible to deal with anybody. And yeah, that was a pretty good run there. So they did get through the 60. You know, when I was saying, hey, there's some more in that, maybe we should have taken a trade, but I don't know. 7 minutes before I gotta go was probably not the best time. Oh, somebody doesn't like my background music. Thanks, I made it myself. Even though they said it was annoying, I'm gonna give them a heart and thank them anyways. Guess if you're not into electronic dance music. Now this person, they post, oh yeah, do you love me? That's gotta be spam. Oh yeah, Lobo Trader left a really great comment on that. I have to say, especially for beginning traders, I feel like that this video that I posted for you guys, I'll give you guys the link again. Probably one of the best videos you can watch if you're new. Probably one of the best videos you can watch if you're new. I know I'm saying that myself. I don't want to be like too egotistical, but this is like all of the stupid things that I did or got caught up in, or that I've seen friends get caught up in and I didn't really know that it was a big deal, that, ruin traders. If you watch that, you can avoid at least the common pitfalls, right? Then if you succeed or you fail, it won't be because of some error or mistake that you made, but because your strategy just doesn't work. Tick got extreme on that flush. Yeah, bye-bye temporarily. You're really bearish, Gary. I'm really listen, like Gary and I have had our differences in the past, but when Gary has an opinion that strong, I take notice because he knows what he's doing. he's had success and good calls long enough now that that's not somebody that I outright fade per se. If I'm got to make sure, like, I am really confident in the edge that I'm trading to trade against Gary. Eric says, crap, wish you had told me that before my ex-wife got me. Good grief. Oh, you're passing the exam right now, Marty? Good job. Good for you. As long as you're taking, being smart with your risk. I tell you, if I did it, I feel like for me, even though I think I could go back and try it a couple of times and probably could get funded, I just think it means more to be trading my own account, because I just don't want to be involved in that whole ecosystem that they've got going on right now. It just seems like shady to me. You know what I mean? But if I did do it, I would, after I got funded, I would be a little cautious because it's really common to see those guys, they hit hard and get past and then they blow up. I'm half profit. Okay. So I think the best I ever did when I was actually doing it was I got up to 2000 and then I blew it. Went back to break even, but then that was the max drawdown and yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, if you say, I heard you say if somebody's getting funded, let you know. Listen, anytime that you're doing it, listen, we are buddies. You watching this stream? I feel um like I am just really lucky that we've got this community, and I'm not necessarily sure that I entirely deserve to have it, but you guys have been great. You've helped me out a lot. And I feel like that when one of you guys has a success, that it's really a success from the community as a whole. So even when you guys do well or whatever, I love to see it. When you guys post pictures in the Discord and stuff, winning trades and stuff. Because, like, honestly, how many times have you had a situation where it's like you went short that day? Okay. Like, let's just say that you've been short this whole time and you've made a good $200 or something from it, right? And then you go to your wife and you're like, oh my gosh, the market just fell apart today and I made $200. And what is she going to say? She's like, oh, that's cool. Okay. Maybe, I mean, my wife isn't the best at being enthusiastic about things like that, but most people don't care, man. And like, even if they're able to fake the excitement, that, like, if they were that interested in it, they would probably be trading too, right? But here's where you can get that, right? I genuinely get excited when you guys show me good stuff. Coming up to an important level in NQ. Reaction like you brought home bananas from the grocery store. Oh, man. So they're at the stop out area again, so they're probably going to pull back here again. Okay, well, guys, Wait, should I post the video again? Or I'll post all of the links again. So we got this one right here. What's your best video explained? Tom, with volume points of control iceberg stops if you have them. You know, we could make some videos like that. I really hadn't made videos like that because I didn't think that there was really demand for it. Like most of you guys knew that stuff, but we could do that. Okay, so there's the Yada link, and then there's the new video. So go check those out. Again, with the Yada link, if you sign up and you deposit money in that savings account, we both get like referral tickets, which from my testing comes out to be about $10 each. So if you want to make $10, then hey, check it out. I'm glad that you guys like that. It's really hard to put yourself out there like that. Not like I'm afraid to admit the mistakes, but like, you know, people will criticize you and stuff. But if it helps you, then it's worth it, right? Okay, so thank you guys very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.